This episode is brought to you by The Naked Dog, where owners learn how to speak dog. Allegra at The Naked Dog offers a holistic training program in which owners learn how to become someone that their dog trusts. I personally have experienced Allegra's magic at The Naked Dog, and I learned how important it is to not only be Pajamas' owner and caretaker, but to also be her protector. So now when Pajamas and I are walking down the street and say another dog comes up, I take that protector role. I step in between Pajamas and that other dog. I tell the other dog no, and it has radically changed our relationship and the amount of trust that she has for me, and that is just invaluable. Use code KATE on The Naked Dog for 10% off any of her virtual courses or coaching programs. Can't recommend The Naked Dog enough. Give it a try and let me know how it affects your relationship with your dog. Put your hand on your heart, look up at the sky, smile and say, hey, I'm alive. Thanks for being alive with me today. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good night. This is Be Alive, and I am sitting here in one of my most favorite places in the entire world, Marfa, Texas. I'm sitting here with a little bowl of cherries. Life's like a bowl of cherries. Got some frozen cherries here. I've got my dog Pajamas at my feet. She earlier this evening ate a box of protein bars that was in my bag that I did not realize. She ate 5 protein bars. 4 of them, she ate the wrapper. Then I tried to make her vomit with peroxide. Did not work. This dog has the strongest stomach. Probably she will be fine, and I don't need to do any of that. She once ate an entire 2-pound brick of shea butter. She got into my bathroom cabinet under the sink where I had purchased a large brick of shea butter. It was at least 1 pound, minimum 1 pound. I think it was more like 2 pounds or more. This dog ate the entire brick and she was fine. Like, fine. I don't even think she puked. Once this dog also ate 100 milligrams of THC gummies, not mine. Not mine. I don't even take gummies. Somebody else's, from whom I will not name at this moment. They had left them on the floor and Pajamas ate the entire thing, and she was out of her mind high for 12 hours. And, I would not leave her side because I do self-guided psilocybin journeys, and it's so beautiful. This dog will not leave my side. When I'm on a psilocybin journey, no matter how many hours it lasts, she's right at my feet. She will not walk away. She will not ask to go outside. She will not drink water. She's just locked in with me. So when she went on her journey, inadvertent as it may be, or maybe it was on purpose, I don't know. I wanted to gift her that same level of presence. And so I did not leave her side really. But her high lasted, I think she ate the gummies at 7 in, and she finally started being able to realize that she was alive at 7 p.m. So one of the funniest things that happened when she did that was, it was funny and scary, but she was laying on the bed during this whole 12-hour period, and she would sort of fall asleep finally in her super duper high. She would sort of fall asleep, and then she would be woken up by a dream that she was having that I'm sure was very vivid after a very high dose of THC. And then she would see it in reality too. So she would jump up and try to run away from whatever it was. Her dreams must have been so just vivid and alive. And so she kept doing this. She would fall asleep, have the dream, wake up, and then get up on all fours. And she was obviously very wobbly because of the level of highness that she was. And it was actually not her first time being high. That same individual left a smaller gummy on the floor a year prior, and she had gotten like a little bit high for a couple of hours. So I am here today to just say hello to you and to just share how thrilled I am to have this connection with you, and also just give an update because I don't want to say I'm a chaotic person, but I am not always someone who does something linear in a linear fashion, shall we say. And when I first created my first episode for this show, I was in Joshua Tree. I think it was, it must have been like March, maybe. No, actually, it would have been earlier. It would have been in February. I was in Joshua Tree. I had been on this big trip in the RV for like 4, 5, 6 months, and it was amazing. After Joshua Tree, I went to, well, actually, let me back up. I just wanted to say that the purpose of this episode is to just give you an update about where I've been, what I'm doing, what's shaking, what's hanging, what's going on in my life. And so if you're not interested in this, go to the next episode. There's so much good stuff. And actually, I'm here also to introduce what the next 3 episodes will be, because I'm really excited to share a very special story with you. But first, the update. Okay, I'm trying to like lock in on the camera, YouTubers. Yes, I see you. I am here in my RV. This is my little house on wheels, and I am in my favorite place in Marfa, Texas, as I said. After Joshua Tree, when I did my first episode, I went and continued my journey, and I spent about a month or so in Bombay Beach, which is this crazy, amazing community artist commune. And they have a wonderful event there called the Bombay Beach Biennale. And I was a volunteer organizer for the philosophy conference as well as a speaker. I have some friends there, and I made many more friends throughout the course of that month. I stayed there in my RV and had just a wonderful, beautiful time meeting people, making art, meeting artists, talking about art, working on my master's. Actually, I had, I think, 2 papers due that month, so it was very busy. After that, I was continuing back towards Texas for the Eclipse. So I stopped back in Arizona to visit my grandmother for a few days. And then it was back to Austin to see that eclipse. I don't know how that eclipse was for y'all, but for me, I'm talking the eclipse 2024 in April. That was part of the path of totality. It was like Texas, Mexico. I think it was like Oklahoma, Arkansas, all the way up to Maine. It was, for me, cathartic. I was in the path of totality also for the eclipse that occurred in 2018, I think it was, 19. And that was a highlight of my life experience. I mean, I'll never forget the moment that everything went dark and I looked down and I saw dew forming on the grass and everything got silent and I heard the crickets come up. It was so beautiful. And I wasn't even trying to see the eclipse in totality that time. I just happened to be there. I was on a different road trip. I was on like a 3-month road trip with Pajamas and I driving around the country, just camping in my Nissan Rogue at the time, and ended up in Oregon for the eclipse, not because I wanted to see the eclipse necessarily, but that was just my intended route. And I'm so glad that I saw the eclipse because now I know how special they are. So when I had the chance to come back and see it near Austin, this time I made sure to leave and come all the way back. And I went to a cemetery just outside of Austin, and it was another just stunning experience. In fact, for this one, I feel like the path of totality, at least it felt longer for me this time. And I sat in this lawn chair in front of my RV after this long 6-month journey that I had traveling through. Oh, where did I go? I went to California. I went to Arizona. I went all these amazing places. And I was sort of reflecting on that and a journey that I had, which I will tell you about in the next 3 episodes, of an emotional and spiritual journey that I had gone through. And so as soon as it got dark and the stars began to come out and those crickets came up again, I just became overwhelmed with tears and I sobbed through the entire totality. Not a sad sob. It was a happy sob, a profound sob, a cleansing sob. It was so beautiful, so cathartic. And afterwards, I just felt like I had been cleaned. I had been cleaned. And then I came back to Austin for a while. And then I came here like right away after only a couple of weeks. I got a studio here, which you've seen because I've been recording in it. I opened a little boutique. I've been hosting meditations and mini retreats, which has been just so special. Just think, I've been living on the road most of the past 2.5 years. And so to come and have, not only is it cool because I've been living on the road, but it's also just always been my dream to have an art studio and a shop and a meditation studio. And I got to have all of those things in my favorite city, you guys. And so here we are now. And I would like to introduce the next 3 episodes. I had a realization as I was walking Pajamas a few nights ago. I was just thinking, what should the first season of Be Alive be? How should it be ordered? What's the arc? What's the journey that I want to take people on? For people who don't know me, how are they going to get to know who I am and what I'm about? And as the sun was going down over this amazing field out here in West Texas, so there's chaparral and dust and cacti, and then the mountains way in the background, I leaned on a barbed wire fence. Highly recommend, because your best ideas come when you're leaning on a barbed wire fence. I leaned on a barbed wire fence and just sort of looked out into the distance, and I thought, I need to tell this story. I need to tell that story of what happened to me in 2022 and 2023, because it's a story that's really important to me, and maybe it might speak to somebody. So the next 3 episodes is a 3-part series of the story of what happened to me in between 2022 and 2023, going from the most depressed I have ever been in my adult life to today, which is the happiest that I've ever been in my adult life. And, everybody's different. There's no one size fits all. So I don't expect like this is going to work for you. I will never promise you that in my work. That's just really not my style. I'm more just like, I want you to learn and I want you to pick up what feels right for you. And I'm usually not going to overpromise too hard, because I believe that you have a very strong intuition. And what I know is that the more I listen to my intuition, as opposed to listening to somebody else who tells me something, the more in tune with that intuition I become. So listen to that little still small voice. And the more you listen to it, the more you'll be living your dreams, and the more you will feel in tune with who you really are and the journey that you are meant to be on. There's your ASMR by Kate Manser today. So that's it. I was on the road for many months and I didn't record the podcast. I was recording some episodes along the way, some interviews, but I knew that because of my work style, which is that I'm a more free-flowing person, I knew that if I were to put one episode out at a time, it would put a lot of pressure on me, and I would miss a week inevitably, and then I would start to freak out. So my MO when I decided to do this podcast was, I'm going to record a bunch of episodes and then release them over time as seasons, right? And then that way I can take a break here and there if necessary. And then also if I miss a week for recording, I've got all these episodes already stacked up for you guys so that you guys don't get left out in the cold. And that's what we're doing now. So thank you for watching. Thank you for lending me your ear and maybe a little bit of your heart. And it's a beautiful day to be alive, y'all. Take care. Thank you for joining me for today's episode. I am honored to share this alive time with you. I'm a new show and I love your support. It helps me. It helps bring this show to others who might need this message. And, maybe it helps to buy some treats or food for pajamas along the way. So please like, subscribe, and share this episode with someone who needs a little aliveness or a little bit of Kate Manser in their life. You never know. Lots of love to y'all. Thanks for joining me today. Until next time.